last year as ChatGPT was picking up a ton of steam. There are entire industries being invented. Now, everyone's familiar with, of course, being known as a prompt engineer. I see this on people's LinkedIns all the time. At companies, are like, I'm a prompt engineer, or another one is head of AI at, right? These were like, a lot of these people are like new to this space, new to AI, or maybe they're kind of like veterans, but they got elevated because AI is such a big play. There is another way to make money from AI that we want to talk about. Jamie's been doing a lot of research on this, and we think it could be a fantastic side hustle. And this is becoming an AI consultant, essentially consulting companies on how to integrate AI into their company, ways they can use it, ways they can be more effective and profitable. And this is a massive money-making endeavor. I have, my co-host on the AI Applied podcast, one of the other podcasts I host, Connor Grennan. He is an AI consultant. He goes and consults. He speaks at events for Fortune 500 companies, hedge funds all over the place, and essentially explains to them how they can.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
Embed and use ChatGPT or AI more into their companies. And I think this is something that companies can save a ton of money and make them a lot of money on. And so anytime you all of a sudden start seeing this dynamic where it's like a company is able to save a ton of money, this is something they're very interested in. So, Jamie, I know you've been doing some research on this. What are you kind of seeing in this field?
Yeah, so just to kind of piggyback off what you were saying first is like a lot of times on this channel, or on this podcast, I should say, we talk about different AI hustles. And, for example, one of them we've talked about is the AI art or AI, image generation to sell on like a stock image website. And those are hustles that are valid. However, they're very small amounts of money, and it's becoming more and more saturated every single day. I mean, as soon as there's 5 YouTube videos out on it, there's 100,000 people trying it. So it's very quick. It's a very quick race to the bottom, and you have to kind of be very much at the forefront. And so a lot of those easier, like quick, small amount of money ones are kind of fading, or at least not as lucrative as they once were. Where this whole consultant idea is something that I think can actually be a sustaining business that has longevity. So that's kind of why I wanted to talk about it. But basically, we talk about all the different AI tools, the latest tools on this podcast. But there's a lot of people, specifically in corporations and businesses, who have no idea about any of these tools or how they can help their business. And whoever can implement these is going to have, higher sales, higher conversions, and it's really going to help their business overall save money and make more money. So if you can come in as the consultant and kind of, share different tools they can use, get them connected up, then you yourself, that's value you're providing them, and you should be compensated for that. So, and businesses will be, happy to pay you. And now I myself am no technical expert when it comes to AI, but I do know a lot of these tools and how I could help businesses. So that's kind of like the basic groundwork here for this hustle and where we're going to go. So I just wanted to mention a few different tools that you could practically help a business with. So, we've talked about the different social media AI generation as far as like, I'm trying to think of one. Do you have any off the top of your head, Jane, we've talked about for like social media posts?
Oh, yeah. Opus Pro is amazing. So I use that like if you follow me on X, you'll see like I post a lot of clips of me doing like interviews or me and Jamie talking about some sort of topic. And literally, it's amazing. It's an amazing tool. It's not sponsored, but amazing tool. I should get an affiliate link or something and drop it in the comments. But Opus is amazing. You literally grab your whole podcast episode, upload it. It's going to go and pretty much make a transcript of where the text is. So it's going to find what it says are the most likely pieces to go viral. It'll clip those out for you. It's going to change the format so it makes it into like a portrait mode where, it's got both of you talking or showing up on the screen, talking about whatever the topic is that it thinks is likely to go viral. It adds captions and emojis. And I think I'm not sure if they're there yet. I saw some sort of announcement recently that they're going to start adding B-roll and stuff. Like they're making a full-on, Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or TikTok video, based off of like automatically you upload the video of your podcast, it clips it all up and puts this whole thing together. It's amazing. So Opus, that's one that I think if you're a video editor or even not a video editor, you could make some serious money, like just starting an agency where you're like, I make clips for people, and you can just use Opus Pro. You got to do a little selection to make sure the clip is good. You could do a little editing and tweaking of it, but like you could crank out 10 of these things in 10 minutes, and to a business, that is so valuable. I remember paying like ridiculous amounts of money. I think like $20 a clip for someone to manually do this back in the day. And then if I wanted 10 out of one podcast, that's $200, right? And so if you can go do this super fast, like what's that worth to a business? And that's kind of what you got to start looking at with these tools is like, you save them this much money, what's that worth to them? And then extrapolate that over a big period of time.
Yeah. So like, let's say you have a small to medium-sized business. They have a head of marketing, VP of marketing, but they can't afford, a content creator for their business. Well, you would go to the VP of marketing and say, hey, I can connect you with some AI tools that either you could hire someone part-time to, plug everything in, or you could even offer the service to them and then just contract it out to another company. But you're kind of, as the consultant, you're almost like the contractor connecting apps and tools, with businesses and, the contractors who do it. So I think that's a really cool model. Another tool that I recently have discovered, and I think it's a little bit of a higher level tool, but it uses AI and I think could really benefit a lot of larger businesses. It's called Warmly.ai. And what it does is it basically, the easiest thing I can compare it to would be back in 2021, we lost the Facebook pixel as far as being able to track customer behavior and build audiences to retarget. And so that really hurt a lot of businesses because they no longer can, retarget people who've been to their website. Well, Warmly is like a demasking type technology where they can figure out, I think using people's IP addresses, what their contact information is. And then it will automatically reach out to them, add them on LinkedIn, email them. And so it's like a first point of contact, and it's all AI. So it'll do that like on behalf of your sales rep. So once you get a warm lead, then your sales rep can take over and convert them. But it's like an automatic way to reach out to them using AI, and also has the the demasking feature as well. So I think it's a really powerful tool that if you could connect a medium-sized business with, their conversions will go way up, and they'll see the value there, and then you can collect your check essentially. So I think again, if you can provide value to businesses, then you're gonna make money, and there's lots of businesses who need that help. So we have a link for Warmly AI in our show notes. If you want to go check that out, I would highly suggest it. It's one of the most recent ways where I've seen actually AI applied in the business world in a practical way, besides just like a chat bot, So I think it's a practical way you can integrate AI into your business or help other businesses integrate AI into their business. So Jaden, what do you got? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Warmly is super cool. It's fascinating. I love the concept of like, it like goes and automatically messages them on LinkedIn, like finds them and does that somewhere else. So I can't share this exact example, but I actually recently had a very similar experience where someone fell out of a funnel for something, and I just reached out to them on LinkedIn and ended up closing the deal bigger than ever. And I did that manually, but I can only imagine a business having that process automated, because sometimes people they fall out not because your product isn't good or because something's wrong. It's just like they're just like, I need more information, and like I'll get around to just filling out a customer support request or asking for it, and then they're like, but I'm busy, and they just life gets busy and they move on. But like if someone reached out to them and was like, hey, like I saw that you dropped off, if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. And they're like, well, I did have a question about X, Y, and Z. And they're like, okay, let me explain it to you. Like, this isn't a person that you're like cold outreaching to. Like, they were very interested in your product, and now you're just like giving them the information they need to help close the deal and solve their problems. And so I think this is amazing. I think it's super cool. Yeah, check out the link in the show notes. One other thing I wanted to bring up is I recently was listening to a podcast, and there's a very famous investor, and he was like, yeah, I just feel like right now AI is like a lot of parlor tricks. I'm waiting for like the real hardcore use cases that are like gonna save money and do good things. I don't know what planet he is on because I am seeing so many ways that this saves money. Okay, Warmly, that's cool. Opus, that's cool. Recently looking at what Klarna, the buy now pay later company, did, where they literally they partnered with OpenAI to create an AI customer service bot based off of all of their customer service requests in the past and how they handled them, so it could do it in the future. It replaced 70. It started taking 70% of their customer support requests, doing the work of what they said was 700 people. What they used to have 700 people doing, they just have this Klarna AI bot with ChatGPT doing. Like, this is like serious progress, innovation, disruption for businesses. So anytime someone tells you like, oh, it's just like a party trick, it's like, dude, like they said, they literally are like, we are saving $40 million a year straight to our bottom line from this new thing that we've started. So
that's insane.
There's massive benefit. And when you start seeing a company save $40 million on just one tool they created, yeah, being an AI consultant can rake in a ton of money. Just as an actual good way to do this, someone I recently saw doing this, I interviewed him on my other podcast. They created an Upwork account, put themselves down as like an OpenAI expert or whatever. Just said a bunch of projects they'd been working on, and they started getting a bunch of clients coming in. They would consult with them, help them. Like, they weren't implementing everything, but they were helping consult them and architect and find ways that they could implement AI into their company. They've made a ton of money. So if you're interested in getting started, I think that might be a good way to go. Your own website and other platforms as well, obviously. But I think this is an amazing way to do it. And I think this is a really cool new kind of side hustle to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's tons of room, like I said, for growth, because businesses are going to be slower to adapt a lot of the AI tools. If you can be, the forefront person for them, provide value, you're going to make money. And I think it's something that can be a little bit more long-term thinking and building of a real business besides like some of the more gimmicky side hustles, as we mentioned earlier. So if you enjoyed this podcast, if you got any value out of it, be sure to leave us a review. It means a ton to us. But we will see you on the next one.